a deathless life. Many of my friends and students ask me, can yoga help me to live a deathless life? Can I live forever? In fact, when I talk to doctors, they say, whatever you do, ultimately you will die. So what is the point? So let us explore that. Because on one hand, yoga says, life is continuous and there is no death. On the other hand, it also says life is a preparation for death. It also says every moment you are dying and every moment you are living. It says life and death are same, two sides of the same coin. Correct? Actually, it's a confusion. Let's explore it. First, what is the difference between life and death? Let us understand it from the perspective of a living body and a dead body. What is not there in the dead body, which is at the physical body? You have physical body, you have awareness and sensory perception, which means there is a mind, and you have breath. That is not there in a dead body. So, in a dead body, we don't have awareness, we don't have sensory perception, and we do not have breath also. Sensory awareness and perception happens because of the mind. Now, in a normal day-to-day life, for how many moments are we really aware of what we are doing? For how many minutes do we think we are aware of a breath when we are doing activity? Very less, right? Now, if the difference between life and death is awareness and breath, think about the number of minutes or hours we spend life mechanically, and we still call that we are living. It's a big question, right? I do things mechanically. When I watch a television, I become mechanical. When I indulge in an argument, I become mechanical. When I indulge in pleasure, I become mechanical. But I still think I live. But as per yogic terminology, you're not living, you're mechanical, because you're unconscious. The difference between life and death is consciousness. If there is no consciousness, it is equal to death. Which means, in a given span of 5 minutes, if I am aware for 30 seconds, and then unaware for 30 seconds, again aware of my breath and mind for 10 seconds, then again unaware, I move from consciousness to unconsciousness, consciousness to unconsciousness, which is what they call as moving from life to death to life. Every time I move from life to death, I die. Every time I move from death to life, I am reborn. Which means every moment we are dying and also born. Number one. Second, if I can move from one moment to the other with full consciousness, with full awareness of what is happening in my body, what is happening in my mind in terms of emotions, and if I can develop my ability to completely perceive what happens every moment, moment to moment, then I move from one moment to the next moment without the residue of the past. Which means I die and I am born new. I die and I am born new without actually dying and being born. Which means I am just one single being continuously moving. And when there is no death and when there is no time, when there is no death and when there is no birth, there is no time. Complicated, isn't it? Very difficult to actually imagine, but this is the principle here. Let me repeat it once again. Take a gap of 60 seconds. If you are fully aware of your body, your breath, and what you do, then it means you are conscious. When you are conscious, you are living. You suddenly forget the breath and get involved in an activity, you become mechanical, which means you are unconscious. That is by and large death. So I was living, I have died. Suddenly I become conscious, I take a deep breath, come back, I am again reborn. So life and death keeps alternating in this state. That is one way of looking at it. The other way is, if I am fully aware of my body, of my breath, of my emotions, which is there in one moment, and this happens from moment to moment, then I am going to the next moment fully aware of the emotions. What happens to the past emotions? The residue is gone. Correct? So when I am involving my breath, when I am involving my mind, consciously, moment to moment, I go to the next moment without the residue of the past, which means I am always there. And when past is not there, there is no future. There is no imagination. When there is no imagination, time stops. So, there is a very simple practice which can help us experience this and also develop this progressively over a period of time. Select a time slot of 5 minutes or even 2 minutes to begin with. Choose a calm, quiet place, sit down, get in touch with your body, all that your body experiences, emotions. Get in touch with your mind, all the thoughts that come up, and slowly shift your awareness to your breath. Then, grounding yourself on the breath, be aware of your body and also your thoughts. Continue this for 2-3 minutes. Slowly you will start experiencing oneness. And see if you can keep practicing this for 2 or 3 times a day and slowly increase the duration. Then something you may have a different experience. It is very difficult to actually share what is that deathless state or what is that state which is full of life, because as Swami Vivekananda said, life is an experience. But again the fact is, the moment we say experience, a memory ticks in. How many years of parenting I have had, how many degrees I have had, I have had the experience of running a business. That's not the experience yoga is talking about. That's not the experience which Swami Vivekananda is talking about. He just stated life is experience, which means as you are sitting now, what's your experience of life? Whatever you're experiencing in your body, in your mind and your breath is life. And if I can be aware of that experience continuously as a function of my breath, with full focus of my mind, then I am living continuously. When I learn to live continuously, even for 5 minutes a day, when I learn not to become unconscious even for 5 minutes a day, then I may slowly know what it means to be conscious even for 5 minutes. Then I can slowly increase the duration, and with persistent continuous practice, a practice which is stabilized with a lot of commitment, at the time of death, a person leaves the body consciously. When the person leaves the body consciously with full awareness, then there is no loss of integrity after a person leaves the body. The mind doesn't disintegrate. The mind is not pulled anywhere. Your mind is being held. Then life continues. You are aware of life. Then actually you are aware even when you are not in the body. So this could be an imagined state as of now, and you cannot reach there by thinking or by having a goal. The goal has to be start a simple mindfulness practice which I shared a few minutes before in this video, and slowly keep increasing the practice. Which means if I learn to live continuously even for 5 minutes, which means if I am conscious even for 5 minutes or even 2 minutes, then I can slowly increase my capability to become more and more conscious for longer periods of time, and without any break in consciousness, without any break in awareness. If I am able to extend it continuously, then actually there is no death. When there is no death, there is no birth. And if I am living moment to moment, there is no past, then there is no future, then time also stops. This is what in yoga we call it as a timeless state. There is no time, there is no life, and there is no death. What is there is only consciousness. What exists is only awareness. Can we reach the state? We can take small baby steps. 5 minutes every 3 hours or 4 hours, or even to begin with 5 minutes a day is okay. If you have any questions, please post in the comment section, or you can also call me. Thank you very much.